We are all expecting some big news on No More Room in Hell 2 in 2024, but the trailers and developer updates that have already been released reveal a lot of interesting new features that I think are worth talking about. Likely the most prominent new feature that has been revealed is the implementation of weapon attachments. In the Halloween 2020 gameplay trailer, you're able to see a scope being toggled off of an assault rifle and onto a shotgun. It looks like different types of guns will be compatible with certain types of attachments. Another trailer released in June 2022 shows a pistol equipped with a silencer. I'm very interested to see how silencers will interact with the zombie AI, maybe allowing for a more stealth-based approach to the game's objectives. I think weapon attachments will be a really cool addition to the game, adding a layer of customization to the weapons we pick up, and perhaps affecting how players will approach different scenarios. Another interesting feature that was shown in the Halloween 2020 trailer is what appears to be a tablet being used to track objectives. The tablet does not reappear in any other trailers or developer updates as far as I'm aware, so it's possible that we could be looking at something very different from what is shown here in the final product. That being said, depending on how it is ultimately implemented, I think something like this has the potential to result in a more dynamic and immersive approach to progressing through objective maps. While we're on the topic of new devices, a screenshot posted in the No More Room in Hell community Discord shows a sort of walkie-talkie radar, which shows what appears to be the location of another player in proximity. Added functionality to the walkie-talkie is definitely nice to see, as this is an item that usually doesn't see much use in its current state. Craftable items have also been mentioned in the community Discord. In a post, one of the lead developers, Max, details what is to be one of the first craftable items. It's described as a zombie distraction device that overwhelms the senses of zombie runners and walkers. He also mentions a craftable electrified fence. I'm curious to see how exactly crafting is going to work in the game, as it hasn't been talked about much at all, but I think it will be a welcome addition to the No More Room in Hell world, so long as it is implemented in the right way. I definitely like the idea of any items or systems that add flavor and the potential for players to approach situations in different ways. Similar to crafting, the stamina system of No More Room in Hell 2 hasn't been talked about or shown much at all. What has been shown are clips of players checking their pulse by wrist. Now, this hasn't really been discussed or expanded on in any official capacity, so I'm just making assumptions here. But this could refer to a more dynamic stamina system, requiring players to manually check their stamina in this way, as opposed to simply listening for an elevated heart rate. It's also possible that it could refer to new features associated with player health and status effects. It would be pretty cool to see some sort of stress feature implemented, which could cause adverse effects based on your encounters with zombies. We'll have to wait for further development updates to know for sure exactly what this feature entails though. Something I'm particularly excited for is character customization. It's been revealed that No More Room in Hell 2 will feature quite a few cosmetic items, some of which will be available for everyone on launch, while others may be featured in Game Edition upgrades or DLC content. It was also mentioned that virtually every cosmetic item can be color tinted and have patterns applied. While I loved the character models featured in the first game, being able to customize my own character is one of the biggest selling points in any game for me personally, and I'm glad to see it coming to the sequel in a meaningful way. The developers can be quoted in a very old interview saying that they wouldn't want to implement a bunch of special infected types of zombies like you would find in Left 4 Dead, for example, as it would turn the game away from a traditional zombie experience. That being said, it appears we might be able to expect at least one new type of zombie in the sequel. A few lore pieces called Survivor Diaries were posted on Steam and Discord, and one of them contains a survivor detailing the types of zombies one might encounter as walkers, runners, and shamblers. Shamblers are described as bearing a stench that, if you come too close to them, would make it near impossible to breathe. It's also mentioned that shamblers should be dispatched quickly, otherwise they'll alert other zombies to your presence by screaming. The Survivor Diary ends on the note that there are in fact more types of zombies to be found. I tend to agree with the developers' earlier statements on Special Infected, but I'm fairly confident that the devs have the insight to implement different zombie types without shying away from the core zombie experience that we expect from No More Room in Hell. Speaking of zombies, the various footage shared with the community shows a huge increase in the amount of different zombie models, as well as some zombies with missing limbs and exposed organs. I can't help but wonder if this points toward a more dynamic system representing the damage done to zombies. It would obviously be really cool if we were actually able to hack limbs off of the zombies and see the damage we do to them with every swing or bullet. Regardless, these are both welcome additions to the aesthetic of the game. Those are pretty much all of the noteworthy new or adjusted features I noticed while going over No More Room in Hell 2's development updates. One additional thing I would really like to see implemented would be some kind of ranking or experience system. Some people will probably disagree with me, but I generally like to feel a sense of long-term progression in the games I play, and it would be really cool to have some kind of system to progress through in the hundreds of hours I'm sure I'll be putting into this game. If the information gathered from its trailers, screenshots, and development updates are any indication, I expect that No More Room in Hell 2 will not disappoint in providing a challenging zombie survival experience grounded in realism. It also looks like they will be bringing some fresh updates to the title. I'm very excited to see what the devs have in store for us this year in the way of new development updates. As always, thanks for watching, and please drop a like and hit the subscribe button to let me know if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.